How does one go from being a former contestant on America's Top Model to being known for her ability to be flexible in any genre when it comes to modeling, to being the owner of the Marvita Vegan restaurant, which is a vegan restaurant that offers an assortment of healthy food options and beverages? In today's episode, you're going to meet one amazing woman who tells you that beauty and vegan beauty is more than skin deep. So stick around.
Are you ready to live the life you deserve? Do you want to feel vibrantly healthy and reach your optimal weight without dieting while being kind to animals and the planet? Then you're in the right place at the right time. Welcome to Plant-Based Eating for Health with your host, certified plant-based nutritionist, Kathleen Gage.
Well, Marvita, I am so thrilled that you're here to share your experience because it's not always that I get a top model on my show. And I have to say it's thrilling. So you were a contestant for America's Top Model?
Yes, I was on cycle 9 and cycle 10. It was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of great celebrities, some interesting girls in the house, and Tyra Banks,
Okay, now give us the dirt. How is she really?
Tyra's a nice person. She brought me back for a second cycle. So I really, I've heard a lot of bad things right now. Everyone is kind of saying a lot of things like, she's not a good person. The way she talks about the girls on the show, people are going back to old episodes and just saying it was pretty toxic. I mean, I get it. I see it. But also one thing that I would say and that I have said is when you go on the show, you're going in front of the world and you signed the paperwork. So it's basically you chose this.
Right.
Deal with it. And it's not easy.
Well, my niece was a 49er cheerleader probably about 25 years ago. And, a lot of people think it's all glamour and, fame and fortune. Well, the fortune definitely isn't there because they didn't get paid a lot at that time. Things have changed.
What?
But, at the time, I think they were getting like $50 a game. That was it.
What?
Yeah, for real. And she had been a cheerleader for quite a while, and now she's a mom of 3 and very healthy kids because she actually leans towards a very healthy lifestyle, which we're going to talk about. But you gave a great segue into what I'd love to talk about, which is toxic environments. And I know that you're vegan, plant-based. Tell us how you came to live that lifestyle.
So I started veganism in 2017. I had a tumor removed, and we thought, I was a little nervous and thought it was cancerous, but it was not. And luckily they got everything out. I'm fine now. And ever since I've started my journey on veganism, it's just been amazing. I feel so much better. I have so much more energy. My skin is glowing. Like I don't look my age at all. Thank God.
Well, okay. Are you going to tell us how old you are?
I'm 37.
Right on. I'm old enough to almost be your grandmother. I'm 67. And I got to tell you, veganism and plant-based is like the best way to go as far as health and nutrition. And in the world of modeling, we had talked previously about how people eat. What percentage would you say of people in the modeling world are actually committed to a healthy diet like a plant-based vegan lifestyle?
I mean, now I see it a lot with a lot of models on TikTok and Instagram. But before, when I was modeling, a lot of models, they were maybe plant-based or maybe vegetarian, but a lot of them also had, I'm not even gonna lie, a lot of them had eating disorders. A lot of them, listen, I only eat 1 meal a day. They were a little strict on themselves and more so worried about what their agency or what the designers may think and them not booking jobs if they weren't skinny enough. So that's pretty much how it was when I was really in the scene.
Right, right. Well, and unfortunately, there's been so much emphasis on a certain size and a certain weight, and it does cause eating disorders. And then you look at what the food manufacturers have done to get people hooked on food. There's a really good book called Salt, Sugar, Fat. I don't know if you've ever read that book, but it's all about the how the food manufacturers actually have scientists that come up with the exact formula to get people to get what's called the bliss factor. And that gets us hooked, and processed foods, all of that. But in what you do today, now you're a health coach, correct?
I try to be. I try.
Okay. So tell us about that.
Well, I work out all the time. I just love fitness. That's my biggest thing. I also love taking care of myself. I juice. I'm always looking at new ways to make new dishes that will benefit me and also help other people, and just help you to be more healthy and to help you to cleanse. I do cleanses every month. So
I want to talk about that, because it's like cleansing, I think, is there's a lot of misunderstanding around it, but it also can be one of the best things that you do. And it's so interesting about health, because a few weeks ago, I actually broke my wrist. I just had my 6-week checkup for the surgery, and it was a freak accident. It had nothing to do with my age. It had nothing to do with me being unstable in the way I walked. I got hit on the back of the head with a big overhang at an outdoor event, the big tents they have. Gust of wind came up, hit me in the back of the head, and I literally face planted on the cement and proceeded to break my wrist. Oh, it was crazy. And what was so interesting is that when I went to emergency, and when I went through the whole process of meeting with the surgeon and then having the surgery, they kept asking me, what medication are you on? I said, I'm not. And they said, are you on blood thinners? I said, no, I'm not. And they said, well, a woman your age, it's not normal not to be on medication. And I said, oh, yes, it is normal. And we've normalized the ill health that people have. So with juicing and cleansing, tell us about what your protocol for that is, and why you believe it's so healthy, and how somebody can get started with that.
So for me, I juice 3 days out of the month, usually the beginning of the month. I do a juice and raw foods cleanse. So I do raw veggies and juice. I do juice for 1 day, one whole day, just juicing. And I have a juicer by NutriBlend, love them. And I do maybe raw veggies for day 2 and day 3, or I'll do all 3 days just juice. And it's basically a really good reset for your body, because no one ever gives their body a break, period. We just go on about our lives. We eat whatever we want. And like, you've been alive since you came out of the womb. Your body needs a reset. And if you give your body that reset at least once a month, your body starts to thank you and starts to like react differently to everything. You have better health. You have more energy. You just feel good, And I've done like different kinds of cleanses. I've done all juice. I've done a 7-day juice cleanse, which is crazy to me. That was the first one I did, which was really hard. That was a hard cleanse. And I've also done a candida cleanse, which that was intense. It was just basically all water, castor oil, a little bit of turpentine with sugar cubes. It sounds crazy, but I did it for 1 day. And when I tell you the things that come out of your body, you'd be surprised. Because we all have things that have been in our like gut and in our bodies for so long, and we don't know, because we don't see the inside of our bodies.
Right.
And all stuff comes out, and you see it, and you just feel better after.
Now, do you feel bad as it's coming out? Because I want to do a disclaimer. Don't try this at home, folks, because, there's the right way to do things and the wrong way to do things. And unfortunately, we become such an obsessed society that people will go to the extreme. I've been on probably every diet there is known to mankind. And I actually did the lemon cleanse, and being the extreme person I am, I'm in recovery for 37 years. So I tend to be very, very extreme, but I did it for 40 days. And I got to tell you, oh my God, worst thing I could have done. And, so I think people need to realize that things in moderation can do us good, and that's why our bodies are so toxic, because we don't know how to do things in moderation. So with with a cleanse, let's actually walk people through a 3-day cleanse of something that's super healthy, how they can prepare for it emotionally, how they can prepare for it by going to the grocery store and or to farmers markets and getting what they need. What would be the protocol that somebody could go through to do a 3-day cleanse?
So for me, a 3-day cleanse would consist of veggies. I would go with maybe some kale, 100% kale. Kale is very good for you. Some dandelion greens. You want to get berries for antioxidants and things like that. You definitely need citrus. So you could go with either lemon, lime. What is it? What's the other lemon? Key lime. Just stuff like that. Pure vegetables. If you want to do a 3-day raw cleanse.
Okay.
3 days are fine. And you have a lot of energy and you're able to eat. If you're not able to do juice, because a lot of people feel like, oh my God, juice, I'm going to die. You really aren't. You just drink a lot of water during the course of the whole day. You just have to make sure that you're constantly hydrating yourself and drinking water. And when you start to feel hungry, you drink the juice, but also remember that juice has a lot of sugar in it. So you don't want to put a lot of fruits in a juice that you're doing kale and dandelion. You want to maybe do 2 fruits, because too much fruit gives too much sugar. Right. Your body does more than a certain amount of sugar a day.
Well, I love what you said about, oh, I couldn't do that, it'll kill me. And then you look at what's happening to our society right now with fast food and meat and dairy, and people are literally killing themselves. And, I'm so frustrated because the media only gives us a certain amount of information on ways to minimize our risk should we get COVID. And the reality is best way we can prevent complications is to go on a whole food, plant-based diet. And I'm talking to more and more people who are doing the whole raw thing. And how much of your diet would you say is raw?
I try to do raw as much as possible. Like some days if I feel like, I've eaten crazy a day before, because maybe I was in the mood for an Impossible Burger and I know I shouldn't eat that, but it was delicious. So the next day I'll do a raw all day. And I'll do like a raw zucchini. So I'll take zucchini and I'll make noodles out of it, put some bell peppers in there, some carrots in there, throw a little bit sesame seeds in there. You can even make an avocado sauce with that, toss it in that. You can make a raw zucchini spaghetti, Alfredo with those Brazilian nuts. You can make different. And even I do like sushi roll wraps, but I'll put like raw zucchini, carrots, ginger, stuff like that. And then I put some avocados in there. And the seaweed, if you buy the raw zucchini, not raw zucchini, the raw seaweed, you roll that and eat a roll.
Nice. Well, we have a garden, and because we live in Oregon, we have a little bit of acreage. And so we always do a fresh garden, and zucchini is something that is so ample. It's like our neighbors are like, go away, we don't want any more zucchini. And I've been looking for great recipes on how to use the zucchini so that not only can I do like crock pot recipes, but raw. And I was thinking of chopping it up, putting it with fresh tomatoes out of our garden, onions, garlic, all of that.
Oh my God, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. So I want to remind people that you're listening to the Plant-Based Eating for Health show, and I'm talking with Marvita Washington. And Marvita, how can people reach you?
You can reach me through Instagram. You can reach me through my email, marvitavegan@gmail.com. If you like, I have _vegan at Instagram. So yeah.
Okay, excellent. We'll make sure we put that in the show notes. So, when people talk about the fact that they can't get their health under control, what do you say to somebody who says, well, you're so lucky, you've got the body of a model, you're just blessed with these great genes. What do you say to people when they tell you you're so lucky?
I tell them to take better care of themselves. I don't, not in that way. I just tell them, listen, it's not easy. This is not easy. Taking care of yourself, drinking water, eating healthy, exercising. You have to actually motivate yourself to do these things. And if you don't have it and you don't want to motivate yourself, you can't do it. It's just
absolutely. Absolutely. Before I had my injury and the surgery, I was running 3 to 5 miles a day, and I was doing yoga
Oh,
every day. And oh yeah, I'm like, this crazy senior citizen is the way I
I
like to
love
describe it.
it.
But when the accident happened, it was enough for me to just sit on the couch and just deal with the pain, because I didn't want to do a lot of meds and everything. And I'm just starting back on my running. And I have to tell you that it is about talking myself into the right thing rather than talking myself out of the right thing. And what are some strategies that you could recommend to people so that they truly can live a healthier life?
Let me tell you, when I sit on my couch and I start to feel like, oh, I don't want to do it, I just get up, because that voice inside of you that just says you don't want to do it is the reason why you will sit there all the time. You got to, when you feel it, get up. When you know you want change, get up. That's the only way you can do it. You got to just get up and go. Don't listen to the voice in your head that's telling you, I just want to sit here. No, don't do it.
I think I have two voices, one on my left shoulder, one on my right, and one saying don't do it, one saying do it. And so I really try to listen to the one who says do it, which actually leads into the next question. I know people are curious about what happens behind the scenes, and what's one of the funniest experiences that you ever had when you were on the America's Top Model show?
Oh my God. Watching the girls that didn't know how to cook.
Ah.
I'm like, wait, so you're putting the shells from the eggs in the scrambled eggs. That's how you do it. Yeah. Okay. I'm just watching everyone not know how to do things. And I'm just like, let me just help you. They're like, no, I got it. And I'm like, I'm not eating that. In my mind, I'm saying, I'm not going to eat that. That was the funniest for me.
Wow.
Watching people.
Wow, that's amazing. So, in closing, what are your final tips and advice for people who really do want to live a healthier life, and yet they have everything working against them, whether it be family, whether it be their job, whether it be stress, whether it be budget, because a lot of people think eating vegan is really expensive, and the reality is it can be one of the most cost-effective ways to live. But what are your final tips for people?
My final tip for people is basically to work on your inner self. Your inner self. You got to start with the inside first before you start with the out. So basically telling yourself you can do things, basically just doing new things that you don't normally do. Take a walk, take a jog, clear your mind. Your mind is the most important thing. That is the center of your whole body that just runs everything, is your mind. If you don't get control there and you don't get out of the stress that you're in and you don't meditate, you really just can't do anything.
Well, you just opened up another question for me. What is your favorite form of meditation, and how would one get started with meditation? Because that's something I do on a regular basis, but a lot of people, they just don't know where to start.
So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I don't sleep with my phone in my room. That's a given, because it starts your day. When you open your eyes in the morning, the first thing I do, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, and I just get myself clean. And I just sit down and I just meditate and close my eyes, and I try to breathe. I try to have no distractions for just the first hour of my day. That's the most important part of my day, is when I wake up, because that's what's going to dictate how my day is going to go.
Right.
That's important.
Excellent. Well, and I take that first hour of the day. Mel Robbins has the 5-second rule. There's, I'm trying to think of all the atomic habits. There's a number of protocols that I've actually taken the best of the best and created my morning protocol. And it usually is an hour of time that's my time to start the day. And I can tell when I do it, and I can tell when I rush into the day and I don't do it. So I want to remind people that you've been listening to the Plant-Based Eating for Health podcast show. This is Kathleen Gage. I've been talking with Marvita Washington, and Marvita has great insights, great tips on how you can live a healthy life, and you can actually live a life that you're proud of, that you have energy in, and that you're making a difference in. Thank you for listening, and you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for your commitment to an ethical life through plant-based food choices. The kind of choices that are kind to your body, the environment, and most of all, animals. Be sure to leave a review and rating of the Plant-Based Eating for Health podcast show.